Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving deep into money management systems,
Ooh, yeah.
which I know is something a lot of our listeners want to really master.
Absolutely.
And we've got a ton of articles and research that we've gone through.
Yeah.
And we're so excited to unpack all this information for you guys.
Awesome.
So to start off,
Yeah.
we talk a lot about money management systems, but sometimes it can be kind of vague what that really means.
Sure. Yeah. It's definitely more than just like a boring budget or something like that, right?
It
It's more about a structured approach to like understanding your finances. And it's not just about the numbers themselves, but it's about like empowering yourself to make informed decisions about your money
Yeah, I love that.
and really gain control.
So in our research, one of the things that they talked about was the 5 key benefits of having a money management system.
Yeah.
And they listed all kinds of things like, reduce financial stress,
Yeah.
better goal setting, even avoiding unnecessary debt.
Oh.
But I think what I was most curious about was, what is that real, game changer when it comes to having a system?
I think the most impactful thing is it gives you this ability to make informed decisions. Instead of kind of like reacting emotionally to every financial situation.
Right.
You're equipped with the knowledge and tools to actually make choices that are in line with your goals.
So it's less about, penny pinching and more about having a strategy.
Exactly. A good system will help you understand your financial inflows and outflows.
Yeah.
Identify areas where you can optimize and ultimately gain control over your money rather than it controlling you.
I love that. Okay, so let's dive into the nitty-gritty here.
Okay.
The research talked about 6 core components of a successful money management system.
Yes.
So we've got budget and tracking the expenses, emergency fund debt management, saving and investing, and regular reviews.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it feels like a lot to juggle. So where do we even begin?
I mean, just like building a house, you got to start with a strong foundation, right? So in this case, that's going to be your budget.
Okay.
It's about understanding where your money's going and making conscious choices about how you want to allocate it. There are different budgeting methods out there, like the 50-30-20 rule
Yeah.
or zero-based budgeting. But the key is finding one that fits your lifestyle
Yeah.
and helps you stay on track.
So it's not about restricting ourselves. It's more about making informed spending choices.
Exactly. And tracking expenses goes hand in hand with that
Okay.
by, diligently tracking where your money's going.
Yeah.
You gain valuable insights into your spending habits.
Yeah.
It's amazing how those small, seemingly insignificant expenses can really add up over time.
Oh, that reminds me of that time when I realized I was spending over $100 a month on coffee.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah, it was a real wake-up call.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
So once you have a grip on your spending and your budgeting,
Okay.
then you can start building that crucial emergency fund.
Okay.
Think of it as your financial safety net.
Right. So the research mentioned aiming for 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses.
Yeah.
But how do we even begin to calculate that, and where do we keep that money?
So first you need to figure out your essential monthly expenses.
Okay.
Like housing, food, utilities, transportation, any debt payments you have.
Yeah,
Then you multiply that amount by 3 to 6.
got it.
The ideal amount can vary depending on your circumstances, like job security or health conditions. And then as for where to keep it, a high-yield savings account or a money market account can be a good option.
Right.
They offer easy access to your funds while still earning a little bit of interest.
Okay, this is already starting to feel less overwhelming.
Good.
We've got our budget, we're tracking our expenses, and we're building our emergency fund.
Awesome.
So what's next on our list?
Okay, so now it's time to tackle debt management.
Okay.
So if you have debt, developing a strategic approach to paying it down is essential. The research mentions the debt snowball and debt avalanche methods. Have you heard of those?
I have.
So with the snowball method, you focus on paying off your smallest debts first,
Okay,
regardless of the interest rates.
gotcha.
This can give you a sense of momentum and keep you motivated.
Okay.
The debt avalanche, on the other hand, targets the highest interest debts first.
Oh, interesting. So snowball is more about the psychological win.
Yeah.
And avalanche is more about saving the most on interest.
Exactly. And choosing the method that best suits your personality and your financial situation can make a big difference in your success.
It's like choosing the right workout routine.
Yeah,
You need something that you'll stick with.
exactly.
So what about saving and investing? How do those fit into the system?
So saving and investing are all about building for the future.
Right.
And I know that can be a little intimidating for some people,
Yeah.
but it's all about taking those first steps,
Yeah.
It's like a fitness journey. You don't start by bench pressing 200 pounds.
That's true.
You got to start small and build that habit.
So where do we even start?
Well, one of the most powerful concepts in personal finance is compound interest.
Okay, the research mentioned that, but I don't really know what that means.
Yeah, so compound interest is essentially interest earned on interest.
Oh,
So imagine you invest $1,000 and it earns a 7% annual return.
Yep.
The first year you'd earn $70 in interest,
okay.
but then the next year you'd earn interest on that original $1,000.
Right.
Plus the $70 you earned the previous year,
Okay.
and so on and so forth.
So it keeps building.
Exactly. Over time, this snowball effect can lead to significant growth.
Wow. So even if we're not investing huge sums of money, compound interest can still make a big difference.
Absolutely. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to compound and grow.
Got it.
Even small, regular contributions can accumulate significantly over time.
Okay. I'm starting to get it.
Good.
But what about choosing investments? There are so many options.
Right.
Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate. It can feel really overwhelming.
It can be, and one of the biggest mistakes people make is letting fear or indecision paralyze them. You don't need to be an expert to start investing.
Okay, that's good.
There are so many resources available to help you learn and make informed decisions.
Like what?
Well, for example, robo-advisors can create a diversified portfolio for you based on your risk tolerance and financial goals.
So rather than putting it off, it's better to just kind of dive in and learn as we go.
Exactly, and diversification is crucial.
Okay.
Spreading your investments across different asset classes can help mitigate risk and potentially enhance returns.
So we're budgeting, we're tracking expenses, we're building our emergency fund, we're managing debt, we're saving and investing.
You got it.
Is there anything else we need to consider?
Yes. The final component is regular reviews.
Okay.
Life changes, goals evolve. The financial landscape is always shifting.
Sorry.
So it's essential to review your system periodically
Yeah.
and make adjustments as needed.
Okay.
This might involve revisiting your budget, reevaluating your investment strategy, or exploring new financial tools and resources.
It makes sense. What works for us today might not be the best approach, a year or two down the line.
Precisely. It's about staying adaptable and proactive in managing your finances.
We've talked a lot about the nuts and bolts of money management systems.
Yeah.
But what about the human element?
Oh, that's a good point.
Emotions play such a big role in our financial decisions.
They do. And that's what's so interesting about this whole topic. It's not just about numbers and spreadsheets.
Right.
It's about understanding our own financial psychology
Yeah.
and developing those healthy habits.
So it's not just about being smart with money, but also about managing our emotions and behaviors around money.
Exactly. For example, recognizing our spending triggers can be incredibly helpful.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, we tend to overspend when we're stressed or bored or celebrating.
Oh, yeah.
Once we understand those patterns,
Yeah.
we can develop strategies to mitigate those impulses.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I know I tend to online shop when I'm feeling stressed.
that's a common one. A simple strategy could be to remove saved credit card information from those online stores
Oh, that's smart.
or implement a mandatory 24-hour waiting period
Okay.
before making any online purchases.
So you have to think about it.
Exactly. It allows you to step back and really consider if it's something you truly need or just a momentary impulse.
Okay, those are great tips.
Yeah.
What about the fear factor?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, myself included, get intimidated by investing or feel like they don't have enough knowledge to get started.
Yeah. Fear and self-doubt can be major roadblocks. But it's important to remember that investing is a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
Start by learning the basics.
Yeah.
Seek guidance from trusted resources.
Okay.
And remember that even small steps can lead to big results over time.
So it's about overcoming that paralysis by analysis and just taking that first step.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to do it alone.
Okay.
There are countless resources available, financial advisors, online communities, educational platforms.
So it's about finding the right support system and embracing the learning process.
Absolutely. And celebrating those small wins along the way can help maintain motivation and keep you focused on your long-term goals.
It's like rewarding ourselves for those positive financial behaviors.
Exactly.
What about those who feel overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information out there? How do we filter through all the noise and find the resources that are right for us?
That's a great question. It's crucial to be discerning about the sources you trust.
Okay.
Seek out information that aligns with your values and your financial goals. Don't be afraid to ask questions challenge assumptions,
Yeah.
and tailor the advice to your unique circumstances.
So it's about being an active participant in our financial education,
Yeah.
not just passive consumers of information.
Exactly. And remember, financial literacy is an ongoing process. The financial landscape is constantly evolving.
Right.
So it's essential to stay curious, keep learning,
Yeah.
and adapt your strategies as needed.
Speaking of adapting, let's talk about life's curveballs.
Uh-oh.
What happens when our financial plans get derailed by unexpected events,
Yeah.
like a job loss or a medical emergency?
Right. It's all about having that resilient system, you know?
Okay.
The foundation we've built with the emergency fund, the budgeting skills, the mindset shifts, those all come into play during those challenging times.
So it's not about avoiding those curveballs altogether. It's about having like the tools and mindset to navigate them.
Exactly. A solid money management system is going to help you adapt and make informed decisions, even in the face of uncertainty.
Okay, that makes me feel a bit more prepared.
Good.
But what about the emotional toll that those financial setbacks can take?
Right.
How do we deal with the stress and the anxiety that often comes with those situations?
I think it's essential to acknowledge those emotions and seek support when needed.
Yeah.
Sometimes just talking to someone we trust, a friend, family member, a financial advisor can provide a sense of relief.
It's about remembering that we're not alone in those struggles.
Exactly. And there are also practical steps we can take to regain control.
Okay, like what?
Well, you can revisit your budget explore options for reducing expenses. Reach out to creditors to discuss potential payment arrangements.
So it's about taking action, even if it's small steps, to kind of move forward.
Yes.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to touch on something that I think is often overlooked:
Okay.
the long-term impact of our financial choices.
Right.
How can we ensure that our current actions are aligning with our future aspirations?
That's a great question. One way is to visualize your future self. What do you want your life to look like in 5, 10, 20 years?
Yeah.
What financial resources will you need to support that vision?
So it's about connecting our present actions with our future goals.
Yes, it's about making choices today that pave the way for the life you want to live tomorrow.
I love that.
Whether it's saving for retirement, investing in your education, building a business, every financial decision we make has the potential to shape our future.
That's a powerful reminder. This has been such an incredible deep dive.
I agree.
We've covered so much ground, and I feel like I have a much clearer understanding of how to create a money management system that really works for me.
You got it.
So to wrap up,
Yeah,
mastering your money is a journey, not a destination.
right.
It's about building healthy habits,
Yeah,
making informed choices,
yeah,
and constantly learning and adapting along the way.
you got it. And remember, you have the power to shape your financial future.
Absolutely. By embracing these principles we've discussed, you can create a life of financial well-being and achieve your dreams.
I agree with that.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise and insights with us today.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listener out there, we hope this deep dive has empowered you to take control of your finances and create a brighter future.
Absolutely.
Remember, it all starts with that first step.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep mastering your money.
And that concludes our deep dive. We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive, where we explore the ideas that matter most.